Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a good day today. We just wrapped up our live trading session and we went into the defense markets this morning. And if you want to see what it looks like in real time, you can get the second link in the description. Will give you access to our daily live trading sessions. And if you want a sample of what it's like, it's in the first link below for today's session. We do that every few weeks so you can see exactly what it's like to watch me trade live in the morning at market open. Now, here's something that most people don't think about, especially with the space tech market specifically, is venture capital or venture. The term actually comes from sailors that were crossing the ocean and venturing, think like Columbus, people like that, into uncharted water with no guarantee of return. That was the frontier. But now we're on a new frontier and the world's changed. It's going to be the space tech market. And we're venturing pretty heavy into the space tech market recently as some of the stocks have absolutely surged over the last few months. And today we're actually going to be breaking down Redwire. And this is one of the top defense plays in the space tech market. Their revenues are starting to look even comparable to that of Rocket Lab. And we just wrapped up again our live trading session. We were trading them this morning. You could see we have a $530 profit today. They just announced their earnings and we were trading them in the consolidation between this $7 level with RDW, which is a 2x instrument of Redwire, meaning it goes up twice as much or down twice as much of Redwire stock in percentage. And so we were trading this swing between left and right, and we got in down here and we were holding. And today we've seen it go up just about 10% or so on our investment of just about $5,000. Pretty small trade. Again, nothing crazy there, but we were once again looking for this move to take place. And we set our stop loss up here. So anticipating still that we're going to lock in profit no matter what here, but we're looking for a profit potentially even further up into these $10 and $11 price points, at least on RDW. So just so you know, I'm not just talking about it. We've been covering this stock Redwire for quite some time. And one of the things that happens as a long-term investor when you're following a stock, which we don't really trade stocks short-term that we otherwise don't hold long-term. We like to trade short-term the companies we're already holding. And with that being said, we've been covering Redwire since 2024, somewhere in here, 2025. We've seen highs of $26 a share. We've seen them drop as low as $4.87 before reversing recently. And right now they're looking to consolidate. We've been really targeting this $10 to $15 price range, as I believe their stable price is somewhere in that range. And I'll kind of walk you guys through three things we look at with each stock. The first step that we look at when we're analyzing a stock is going to be the market in general. So while we do see opportunities that it's a venture, it's a frontier, a lot of, if not all of these space companies are not turning profits. The only one that's dipping their toes in the space market that's absolutely crushing it is AMD, because they provide all of the semiconductors and microchips for Starlink, which is one of the biggest satellite constellations, if not the biggest in the world, that powers the internet that's uploading this YouTube video right now. So I use Starlink. I love it. It's good when you're in the mountains here, because otherwise you're relying on some really slow satellite internet. But Starlink is powered by AMD. So they're the only company here that has really maybe positive return. I think maybe Lockheed Martin, if we were to look at, LMT, Lockheed Martin is operating with a positive net income. But other than that, they've been around a very long time. Other than that, most space companies here are not operating at a profit. So the market in general doesn't usually operate at a profit, but you do have a tremendous surge from the SpaceX IPO, and you're seeing a tremendous amount of revenue for a lot of these companies recently. So let's talk about first that market with the SpaceX IPO. Most space companies have seen a lot of momentum. If you look at Rocket Lab recently, they're up to $80 a share. They're at to almost all-time highs. If you look at even Black Sky, although it's pulling back 24% today, it's very conservatively supposed to do that, right? But it's actually bullish. It's been up to all-time highs to $42 in the last week and a half. So a lot of space companies are at all-time highs. LUNR is another one we've seen recently rocket to 31. And this is like over the course of watching and waiting and seeing this happen over a few years with a lot of momentum with the SpaceX IPO. But specifically in that market, we're anticipating that space tech is going to continue to grow definitely double-digit percentage points year over year. And that's really what we've seen. Now, as the defense contracts have also become very big this last year related to space tech, Redwire has seen a big piece of that. And Redwire has seen, as a relatively new company, just in the last few years since 2021, a large backlog that they just recently announced in their earnings. So while their revenue is down, and we'll talk about that stuff and all the financials, just realizing that the market is growing, but there's a lot of volatility, and none of these companies, or at least most of them, are operating at a profit, which is expected because they're venturing out, and the returns could potentially be very huge as they discover new things. They're, basically, mining asteroids or coming up with new technologies as a result of going out. I mean, if you think about the compass, you think about the sundial, you think about, a lot of different things, technologies that people started to develop. Anyway, you get it. Number 2 is going to be the financials. And also 2 things. In the market, the usage is there, which is the real world usage, like Starlink, for example, or missile defense, which has been getting used. Satellite imagery is really big right now. It's helping a lot with the wars, as well as identifying wildfires or things like that. Like, that's a lot of real world usage happening in space tech. But then number 2, the financials and a lot of their revenues are increasing. So that's why the market is healthy. Those 2 indicators. And then number 2, again, the analysis. The analysis is going to come down and break down to A, B, and C. A being the financials, B being the news, and then C being the technicals, meaning the charts. So let's actually start with the news with Redwire. So first, one of the big things with them is they just reported their earnings. In their earnings, they've come out with more institutional buying. So you see more institutional buyers. Insiders have been buying as well. So that's been a key indicator that big banks have been purchasing them. So we see that institutional interest from BlackRock and a lot of the ones that you probably already know, Goldman Sachs and what have you. But then the actual news is that they've come out with their earnings recently that have been pretty good. So what do their earnings look like? Well, this is kind of what they just came out with. This was what they just released literally this morning on this PDF here. And I was able to meet this company in person in Colorado Springs. So I'm fairly passionate about space tech, and I think these markets are extremely exciting. And when I was speaking with them, one of the things they were heavily focused on was technologies that were overlooked by other space companies. Have you ever looked at like taxpayer dollars and you're like, are we really building that? Is that what we need to be building? There was something that happened a while back, which was the LiDAR being deployed up into space by many companies, and LiDAR being very, very ineffective compared to having high sensor cameras. Because if you look at LiDAR, basically, LiDAR is something that sends a signal out and it bounces off of different objects and then comes back. So you have 20,000 miles an hour, you have satellites moving around, then you have the Earth rotating, and then all of the different things to bounce off of. LiDAR was basically not helpful in space, and there's a lot of infrastructure up there. Redwire focused on cameras, very high quality cameras that helps with not just surveillance, but infrastructure for the missile defense or being able to track things down on Earth. And so they've seen some contracts as a result. They got a $1.8 billion 10-year Andromeda IDIQ. They were one of the prime companies selected for that. They were also selected in the Golden Dome, and then also in a European-built spacecraft. So they're working with Europe as well, ESA's QKD satellite. And then they also recently signed a few other contracts, a $12.8 million contract here for a company. There was also a microgravity development where they're not only testing microgravity, but also things like drug discovery in special conditions like microgravity. And that was another $4 million from NASA, another $20 million from who's this? Reconnaissance. I think this was maybe Marines. Yeah, Marine Corps there. And you can see that they are doing missile defense and also drone tech type of stuff here. And they've had a lot of things with the US Army where they've signed deals. So their current backlog, according to this recent earnings that just came out, their backlog is pretty massive. I believe they said somewhere around 500 million plus in the contracts. And then some of the deals that they're a part of are over billions of dollars in deals, including that $181 billion deal they're a part of. And their revenue has been increasing year over year drastically. Now, the revenue was down a little bit in the quarter, but they came in just around $100 million. 44 billion of that was defense technology, and then 52 billion of that was specifically space technology. So their defense mixed with space, which is a nice move, especially assuming from a revenue perspective, that's where Rocket Lab has seen most of their revenue is from government defense and things like that. So just something to consider, even though they focus on space tech and exploration and building their own technologies, the biggest revenues seem to be coming from defense. So they have gross margins increasing, which is good. Still not seeing full positive net income from them. And we looked at their backlog. There it is. That's $186 million backlog with $571 million in bookings for LTM Q1. And basically what you need to know is they're seeing increases in their backlog. It's growing tremendously and increasing by 21% year over year, or quarter over quarter, quarter over quarter. And so they got a lot of projected revenue. They went through the Q&A. I thought it was a pretty good earnings call. Went through some of the financials and found they do still have that negative net income, which is expected. But here's what you got. Growing income year over year. So we get into, so the news looks pretty good, but then the financials, again, the revenue has been growing. This is B of our analysis. We went through the news. Now B is going to be the financials. Revenue has been growing. Over the last few years, they've gone from 100 million in total revenue to last year doing over 300 million. And then in the quarter, they're doing now around $100 million per quarter, which is just about 50 million to 70 million less than Rocket Lab. Okay, so they're actually more than half of the same revenue as Rocket Lab. But Rocket Lab's at what, $40 billion in market cap or something like that. And Redwire is at just 1.7 billion. So they're still relatively small as they're doing good revenues, on track to do around 400 million to 500 million for the year. And their balance sheet, meaning their runway or the amount of money they have, their liabilities less, or their assets less their liabilities, comes out to over $1 billion in equity. So you factor in, $1.5 billion, including their equity plus their expected revenue, then their backlog coming up here, you're looking, at a pretty low market cap at just 1.7 billion. And that's why a lot of the projections, most likely we're seeing projections that are pretty bullish into the longer term timeframes. Now I was looking at the shorter term, maybe it's looking good. I did notice some negative. It looks like it cleaned up a little bit. This changes quite often in the 1 day to 1 week. But over the long term, a lot of models, we like to use AI models infused with my exact analysis framework. So we'll go into what that looks like in a second in the profit stage. But first, realizing the technicals. The technicals indicate that they got a solid support at $9.50, and that's going to be for the longer term timeframes. And if we look at the current levels for Redwire, they're at 975. So 950 would be a little bit of a sell down. We could see that sell down potentially to 950. But it looks like their next level of resistance is at 979. Okay, so that's right around where they're at. So they're at a level where they are consolidating from left to right. But with these earnings, they weren't too bad. In fact, I think they look pretty good. And we're going to watch, see if they hold above that $9, $9.50 level. And again, we have a trade going over on RDW. And so that's kind of what we were trading. So as you could tell, longer term, there may be some projections up into $15 to even $20 a share. That's what we've seen over the last year or so. Those are 100% plus. But in the short term, they're just looking to break above $10, shoot up into 12 to 15 with targets there that would be as high as about 50% increase. Now over on RDWU, that's where we've been trading it. Again, what I'm monitoring there, this is a high risk 2x that I would urge caution on anybody that's trading it, as it is higher risk, is we're looking for that breakout continuation. And that's kind of what was leading to our trade there today. That we're up about $527 a share profit here. And we're looking for even another 25% after we just caught this move here of about 25% swing. We caught about 10% of it, and we're looking for them to potentially continue up more. So that's kind of the profit. Any risk is usually about 1/5 of that of our profit. So we're going for about 20% profit. We had risk management somewhere around 3 to 5%. And now our stop loss is set up here, and we are locked in for profit regardless. So just make sure you have good risk management, as this stock does fluctuate, 5, 10, 20% very quickly. That's why it's important, if you're not long-term, which I am as well, I'm a long-term holder of the company, that you're ready to bear some of the risk management that's required to trade it on the short term. So friendly reminder, if you haven't already, would love to see you there in those live sessions at Market Open. We're there and we'll be there tomorrow morning. You can watch my entries and my exits. If you would like to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, then it's going to be the second link in the description below. There's a huge sale. It's not getting better than this in StockMate. So if you want to take a look and join us as soon as tomorrow at Market Open, we'd love to see you there again in the second link below. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing and letting me know your thoughts on Redwire down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.